Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about a stock that demolished earnings, reported phenomenal earnings, and how you should approach it in the morning. I'm also going to be answering some of you guys' questions like we always do here on this channel. Now, before we begin, again, do not forget to annihilate the like button on your way in. And also don't forget to click on that subscribe button along with that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on these videos, right? So let's begin right off the bat. We got the SPY over here. Let's talk immediately about the stock first. First and foremost, and then we'll talk about the SPY. Now, the stock that had phenomenal earnings, that stock is none other than Google. For those of you who have been subscribing to the channel, I made a previous video when it was like somewhere over here about it being the next $2 trillion company. And right now, I think it's safe to say that it will be the next $2 trillion company right after it gets above 3013. That is the magic number. Now, in regards to like how everything is going to unfold, the one thing that we want to see, first of all, let's talk about the earnings. They actually did really well. We're gonna go on Google, and these are their earnings. The expected was they had an APS expected EPS of 27, and they reported 30, and then their revenue was $4 billion above the expected. So as you can see, they did phenomenal. And Google is a company that has a history of crushing earnings. Anyways, as you can see right here with these numbers, these this is pretty much how much they did in throughout all of 2021. All right, so it's no surprise, but the reaction is definitely enormous. It's huge, and people who have calls on there are definitely gonna get rewarded tomorrow. The out of the money contracts, like the ones that are super out of the money, are going. They're kind of gonna get cheaper. Kind of gonna get cheaper. I know the price increased, but the ones that are super far out of the money will get cheaper tomorrow. So there could be an opportunity over here where it opens up at exactly the same price, and then it forms something really nice and provides an opportunity for a day trade in the afternoon tomorrow towards like 31 towards $3,080, maybe towards 3,100. All right. And another thing about Google is that they announced a 20 to 1 stock split, meaning that on the day that the stock split will occur, the price of the stock will be divided by 20. So let's say that it goes all the way up to like, let's say it ends up at $4,000, which would not be, it would be a surprise if it goes all the way up there, but if it did, all right, then the stock split would mean that they would pretty much cut everything all the way down. They would split one stock into 20 individual stocks, and the cost of each of them will be exactly $200 per stock, which would make it a lot more attractive for long-term investors to actually buy Google. All right. Now, something that y'all want to know about stock splits is that when it is announced, like the way it is announced today, there is usually a massive uptrend that follows. Like, so do not be surprised to see Google move all the way up towards like 3,500 within the next like, well, 3,300 to 3,400 within the next 2 months. All right, before we see that split and before we go on another cool down. The same thing happened when Apple announced a split. As you can see, the split was like way back here. All right, they had a 4-to-1 split, but it was announced about a month and a half before, somewhere over here, or maybe even over here. All right, it was announced that they were going to do a split, and what happened is that there was a massive rally, and then on the day of the split, it went up a little bit, and it was an immediate cool down afterwards. Now, another stock that did the same thing is Tesla as well. Tesla had a 5-to-1 split over here, but it was announced way back here, right? So that's pretty much the trend of what happens when these announcements are made. So definitely watch Google for something similar. All right, the contracts are going to be, I think the contracts are going to be reasonably priced. They were kind of outrageous before earnings, but I think they're going to be fine moving forward. So expect a move all the way up here. All right. Now let's talk about the overall market. Again, just the overall market. Let's look at /ES. And for those of y'all who watched this morning's pre-market analysis video, I told y'all specifically, gave you very clean instructions to watch the market for a move up to 4,600. All right. I was wrong about that because it did not get there today. All right. But it's on the way there, which is good. All right. It's on the way there. It only went all the way up towards 45.50. So it's only $50 away from actually getting in that red box. All right. We were actually tracking it throughout the entire day along with the Nasdaq. And if you look at like the 5-minute chart, there was kind of like this it was pretty simple and pretty like easy to know that we were gonna run, especially after this formed intraday right over here, a bullish pennant intraday. And as soon as that thing started running, this right here, it was pretty obvious that this move was coming. All right, it's not done yet. I think it's going to go higher, and I think that as this thing goes higher, Google is also going to make another move higher towards like 30, towards 30 and 80, towards 3,080. That's what I mean. Yeah, so just definitely keep your eyes on those. All right, now let's talk about you guys' stocks of interest. Again, for those of y'all who dropped those in the comment section, the first one that we're going to talk about is DVN. And this one, I believe, is an oil company. And oil have been doing quite well throughout the past month. It's been cruising on, well, kind of choppy, but definitely the trend is up. The trend is high like this, right? It has these dips. It gets bought up again. It's probably gonna move all the way up towards 55 before we experience another dip, and then it's gonna bounce again, right? And then earnings is going to decide its fate. I'm not bearish on oil, not yet. This trend is really strong. So what you want to do is you want to try to either day trade intraday to the upside or wait for these opportunities like this one right here, this one right here, and the next one that's gonna come up when we like top out over here like 57. All right, so that's my thoughts on Devon. Now the next one that we're going to address is a stock that let's talk about JPM. Somebody asked me to look at JPM, and this is bank stock. Now the banks got demolished throughout the past like month, and they're trying to make a recovery to the upside. I think JPM got more room to run, and the reason why is because of the 5-minute chart. If you look very closely, there is that bullish pennant on the chart that broke out right over here along with Goldman Sachs, and they just kept running and running. I think it's gonna go higher. I'm not bearish on JPM. And there's also these gaps to fill on the daily chart. The move just started. Like we may even get a surprise tomorrow where we see JPM move up to 157. We may see that. So that's another one that y'all should keep on your watches. This is a good one. Now the last stock that we're going to address is a stock that did not do so well through earnings. It's PayPal. All right, now with PayPal, that one I have been bearish on it for a while. As you can see, the gap right here has been highlighted. The move up was kind of surprising, but kind of not because the market was bullish and everything. But the drop through earnings, definitely not surprising at all. That it wants to get down here. It wants to get in the box. It wants to fill that gap at 128. So congrats to anybody who got puts on there. Some people in the Discord got puts on there. They were like stalking this one for the day for that drop. So congrats to anybody who did. I think it's gonna go lower to 128. and then at 128 it's gonna turn around and climb back up. That's what I think. That's my very honest opinion on the stock. And that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button for the YouTube algorithm. As always, it helps the channel a lot and allows more people to get this knowledge as well. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, definitely click on subscribe and click on the notification bell along with all notifications. That way you don't miss out on these post-market analysis videos, which are released every single day in the afternoon, and the pre-market analysis videos, which are released from Monday to Friday at exactly 8:20 a.m. Central Time. If you're not following us, if you would like to be part of a private Discord community, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. If you are not following us on social media, you can find us at NGumah and the PATTERNOLOGY LAB on Instagram and on Twitter. And lastly, if all of this is brand new to you and you're interested in getting started in the stock market, I'll have some very basic step-by-step directions in the description of the video below. Step 1 to step 3. It only takes about 10 to 15 minutes or less for you to get signed up with all the tools you need to start trading immediately. You can also get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850 right after signing up with Webull using the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is NGumah with PATTERNOLOGY LAB, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.